Hi, I'm Gamze Eroğlu, and I'll be talking about how retrieval method influences the relationship between telling the truth and the lie. You can take a look at the outline here. How often do you think lying is? At least once a day. And that's if people are honest about their reports. It's pretty common. If we can't avoid it, then we need to learn how to deal with it. If you are fabricating any information, it's more likely that you will falsely remember those. And type of retrieval also matters. It may change the direction of the results. The hypothesis of the current study feeds from depth of processing theory, which claims that deeply processed materials will be remembered more. And it's shown that the difficulties during encoding, measured by response latencies, would lower memory predictions. The question that whether lying shows this pattern because potentially they are processed deeper was tested in Besken 2018. And found that, yes, it shows. But these results were obtained with general knowledge questions. So the question is whether this relationship between memory and metamemory would be obtained with episodic memory. In order to address this question, we conducted experiment 1 with a cued recall test and hypothesized that if semantic and episodic memory share a similar mechanism in lie generation manipulation, the same pattern of results would be obtained. We collected data from 32 participants and used the within subjects design. There are 4 phases in the procedure. At the encoding phase, participants were shown with a picture for 5 seconds and asked to attend a specific detail. For example, in this picture, they attended details of the event they witnessed and was questioned about the stolen item. If they were asked to tell the truth, they needed to say why, and if they were asked to tell a lie, they needed to fabricate an alternative response. Here, Coke, anything than a why. Then they indicated their confidence in remembering their answers later on. After all of the 84 items, they proceeded on to the distracted phase, which took 3 minutes. At the memory test phase, they were shown with the same pictures. Critical portion of them was covered. Then they were asked to repeat their previous answers. In the truth check phase, they were again shown with the masked pictures, but asked to state the original detail presented in the unmasked picture. Results showed that participants were slower to start responding in lie trials, but interestingly, they took more time to finish typing their responses in truth trials. No significant difference was observed in memory predictions, but they remembered truthful answers more, both while remembering their own answers and the actual answers. We speculated as to why truths are remembered more than lies. Firstly, truths took more time to complete answering, which might make the truth encoded more deeply, therefore better memory. Another potential explanation is that episodic and semantic memory share a distinct mechanism in lying. But before claiming that, we used a cued recall retrieval in this study, but in Besken 2018, free recall test was used. Presenting cues might have activated different mechanisms. In order to test the last explanation, we conducted experiment 2 with a pre-recall test and hypothesized that if retrieval method explains the first results, we should obtain the same result as Besken 2018. But if episodic memory rated differently than semantic memory in lying, we should get the same results as experiment 1. Since we used free recall, we reduced the number of pictures to 42. The only difference in procedure is in memory test phase. We gave participants 10 minutes to remember their own answers without any cue. The rest of the procedure is the same. Same pattern of results were manifested. Participants were slower to respond in lie trials, but they took more time to complete their answers in truth trials. Similarly, no difference in memory predictions was observed, but in this time, participants remembered their own lies more than the truths. But for the actual details, they remembered the truths more. Comparison of response latencies between experiment 1 and 2 shows that first explanation is not valid. Truths still took more time to complete, but lies are remembered more. And if different mechanisms between episodic and semantic memory were involved while lying, we should have obtained a similar pattern of results in memory performance across experiments, but we didn't. The retrieval method shifted the direction of the relationship between truths and lies in memory performance. Actual information is remembered more when participants priorly told the truth than told a lie, which could be related to the presentation of the cues. And people are not sensitive to the differences between telling the truth and the lie. As a take-home message, in order to facilitate memory for the truth, it might be wise to include cues of actual information while asking one to remember. And the mnemonic influence of deeper processing might be observable when allowed to use self-organizational retrieval methods. These are contact information. Please do not hesitate to email us for comments and questions. Thank you.